Is it possible that a single incident can cause a diplomatic rift between two nations? The current India-Canada situation certainly seems to suggest so. The origin of this disagreement can be traced back to Canada's support for Khalistanis, who are involved in extremist and separatist movements in India from Canadian soil. The situation escalated when Canada, without any substantiating evidence, blamed India for the death of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a known separatist. India, in response, requested proof to back these serious allegations. This accusation marked the beginning of a rapidly deteriorating relationship between the two nations. As allegations flared, the rift between India and Canada continued to widen. It's a tale of two nations, where accusations have led to actions. The situation escalated rapidly after Canada accused India of involvement in the death of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Khalistani activist. In response, India has demanded evidence for these serious allegations, a sentiment echoed by global powers and Canadian opposition leaders. Meanwhile, the diplomatic row has seen both countries expelling a diplomat each, a move that only adds fuel to the fire. But it doesn't end there. India took a further step, suspending visas for Canadian citizens for an undefined period. As the situation continues to unfold, the demand for concrete proof to substantiate the allegations grows louder. Yet the evidence remains elusive. The world watches on as these two nations grapple with an issue that could have far-reaching consequences. In the midst of this, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is under increasing pressure to come clean and provide facts to back his claims. The situation is tense, and with each passing day, the rift deepens, casting a shadow over the once friendly relations between these two countries. The lack of evidence has led to a stalemate, leaving both nations in a state of heightened tension. But what does this mean for the rest of the world? As we delve into the global impact of the India-Canada rift, we find that the repercussions extend far beyond the borders of these two nations. Let's start with the G20 nations. As a forum for international cooperation on economic issues, the G20 is an influential group of countries that includes both India and Canada. The tension between these two nations could potentially disrupt discussions and decisions within this critical forum, causing a ripple effect on global economic policies. Now let's consider the countries that share friendly ties with both India and Canada. The United States, Australia, Japan, and the United Kingdom, to name a few, may find themselves in a diplomatic tight spot. They could be forced to tread carefully to avoid taking sides, which could strain their own relations with either India or Canada. Trade relations also face potential turbulence, with bilateral trade between India and Canada reaching over $8 billion in 2022 to 2023. The strained relations could put this economic exchange at risk. This would not only affect the economies of India and Canada, but could also impact global trade dynamics. Lastly, the situation has raised concerns among global citizens. The uncertainty surrounding visa policies, travel advisories, and the general safety of international travelers could discourage people from traveling between the two countries, affecting tourism, education, and business. The ripple effects of the India-Canada rift can be felt across the globe, affecting not just the two nations involved, but their allies as well. This situation serves as a stark reminder of how interconnected our world is, and how a conflict between two nations can have far-reaching impacts. In the wake of increasing tensions, what can be done to mend relations? The first step must come from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. To validate his claims, he needs to provide concrete evidence supporting his allegations against India. Empty words without proof only exacerbate the situation, creating a chasm of trust that becomes increasingly difficult to bridge. Moreover, it's crucial that Trudeau reevaluates his stance on supporting activities that breed unrest and violence in other nations. Politics should never be a playground for endangering global peace and security. The support of extremist activities for political gain can only lead to a dead end, one that's fraught with escalating tensions and potential conflicts. But it's not just Canada and India that need to act. Friendly nations, including the United States, Australia, Japan, and the United Kingdom, must step in to mediate and soothe the situation. Their role in preserving global harmony is pivotal, and their diplomatic intervention could be the salve that heals this international wound. Trade relations, geopolitical stability, and the welfare of citizens are at risk if this discord continues. It's a high-stakes game where everyone stands to lose. In an increasingly interconnected world, it's clear that the actions of one nation can have far-reaching effects. Let's hope for a swift resolution to this rift for the sake of global harmony.